Good afternoon, Pep.
Uh,
Hello. You said earlier in the week that David Silva could go home if he needed to. How is he, and has he travelled home at any point?
Well, I think, good morning. It's not easy for me to explain what does he feel, so I think he made a statement. He explained everybody what happened, and I prefer to talk about that. So when he comes, he shows on the pitch and he's able to forget everything. But of course, he decides when he has to stay or he came back to Spain.
So is he around and available for selection this weekend?
I don't know.
Jose Mourinho told us yesterday that he doesn't need to act like a clown on the touchline. I just wondered, do you think there are managers in the Premier League and in other leagues that act like clowns?
It's a question for him.
And finally from me, transfer window's open. You continue to be linked with the likes of Alexis Sanchez and Johnny Evans and Igor Martinez. We use these names every week. But when you've spoken to Ziki, have you been given any encouragement in attempts to add to the squad? Thank you.
No. In Barcelona, in Bayern Munich here, I never pushed to the. So the clubs I work with always they try to do the best, and sometimes it's possible, sometimes don't, but it's not a big problem. So I said many times we're working now for this month, but for the future, for the next seasons, not just for that. So it's happened, it's done. I will work with the players I have. So the toughest periods to buy players is now, because everybody won't keep their players. It's not easy. So if it's happened when you believe we need something, because we're having 4 competition until so far, and everything can happen, okay. If it doesn't happen, we'll go with the guys we start, and we're going to look back in the second team. We're going to move forward with the players we have.
Pep, given the way things have gone in the league so far, many people expect you to be manager of the season. But how much credit does Sean Dyche deserve for the way he has Burnley play?
A lot. What he has done, what they have done, what he has done so far, it's amazing. So after the 5-6 hypothetical contenders to win the Premier League, the next after is Burnley. So they won. They make amazing results about all contenders. So it's a tough draw for us tomorrow for the FA. It's a tough draw, but of course we want to keep going with that competition as well.
Given the way things are going in the league, just how much pressure is there on City, do you think, in the cup competitions? Is there more expectation on you now to do well in everything?
Well, it's same last season. So I think all the clubs want to move forward, want to continue, go to the next round. So the pressure you have to live, you have to handle these kind of situations. If don't, you cannot compete in the big clubs. So we accept that pressure that we have, and we have to deal.
Have you decided what kind of team you're going to play tomorrow? You've spoken about the physical exertion that was involved over Christmas. You've got a semi-final to play on Tuesday. Does that mean some of the younger players may play tomorrow?
No way. We're going to try to make the best team as possible, because we play against Burnley. So I live last season at Huddersfield, the Championship. We need to replay. So what happened this season against Wolves or Leicester, I start to watch Bristol, and I was really impressed how tough. So they won 4 Premier League teams. No, so the schedule is what it is. So I'm not the last game against my last press conference after last game against Watford. It was not about Christmas time or not about Boxing Day. So it's part of the culture for English, and I love to share that, and I like to play that. It's just we cannot play 31st and 2. So the only regret it was that too. So all the doctors, the physios, all around the world say that you are not in 48 hours or less than 40 hours that the body is not recovered to play again so demanding competition like now. So that's why it was my comment. So, but we have to adapt. So it's not just what it is. So all the managers, we give our opinion because you ask about that, about referees, about many issues. But of course, we're going to play tomorrow. We're going to be there. And if the schedule next season say you have to play every 2 days, we're going to play.
You've always said that it's impossible to win all 4 competitions, but the longer you go in all those competitions, the more expectation is that Manchester City is the best team in the country. Could win.
But maybe that question when we are in March or in April and we are still in the 4 competitions. After that, I'm going to tell you. We're going to talk. Oh, but tomorrow is the first round in the FA, so it's thinking about the 4 competitions. It's an illusion. It's not realistic, I would say. So I think we will need 32 players to play really well for all 4 competitions, and that is not going to happen in my squads to have 34 players.
You mentioned obviously you're going to go strong, try and win, but with the busy period you will make changes, surely. But how many players are not available through injury or fatigue or whatever? Who isn't available?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, Vincent is not available. Gabriel is not available. Mendy is not available. Phil Foden is not available. I don't know if David will be available. So we'll see. We have training session at 4 o'clock. After we'll see.
And also with the busy festive period, you've made it clear your thoughts on the players and how they have too much to deal with. What's it like from the manager's perspective? Do you find it hard mentally dealing with so many games in such a short period of time?
Well, when I showed to me in that period is amazing athletes. There are the players in the Premier League, not just Manchester City players. So when we talk about the big athletes, nobody put on the table the football players. And I think they are the most athlete, the most. In the fact, 11 months, every 3-4 days, a competition is so demanding, in so physicality, with the tough conditions, weather conditions, with many reasons, and they are every day they are there. So I admire a lot. So how in my period in football play was completely different. So handle that situation, it's a chapeau. And the manager is most what I miss the most, the time to analyze, to train in a little bit more, or to analyze, have time to analyze what you have done or what you can do better. And in that period, you don't have time for absolutely anything. So it's just to don't be with the players, say the line-up, correct something and go on, because you don't have time for absolutely anything.
Hi, Pep. You said after the Watford game there was a little concern over Kyle Walker and the effect of playing so many games. How is he now? Is he okay?
I have training session at 4 in the afternoon, so we will see later. I don't know. Right now, I don't know.
Hi, Pep. You said last week you've never handled 2 domestic cup competitions before. In this country, the FA Cup is seen as the more prestigious tournament. Do you have a priority on either? Do you see a distinction between the 2 cup competitions?
Priority is the next one. Priority is tomorrow. Training good, eat good, rest good, wake up good, and play at 3 in the afternoon. And tomorrow Bristol. So our intention now is don't drop any competitions, don't drop any game. So that's why we saw what you saw. But of course, we're going to rotate some players, but we are focused because it's Burnley. And what they have done so far is so how difficult. They don't concede goals. They concede one goal for a game, except Tottenham game. The other one is always 0-0, 1-0, 1-0. And there's so strong physicality. And Bristol, I saw a little bit, not too much because I didn't have time. But what I saw, it's semi-final. So we're going to try don't drop any competitions. That's true.
Hi Pep. Vincent Kompany said that the Premier League should consider stepping in to bring down ticket prices, make games more affordable for more fans. You've managed in various different countries and in Germany where the prices do appear to be cheaper. Do you think this would be a good idea for the supporters?
I'm not CEO. But I am sure, because I know the CEO, all what this club does is always thinking about the best for our fans. That is no doubt about that. So I spoke sometimes with the CEO about many other issues, to know the players, to know the culture here. and everything they do is always the benefit for the fans because we play for them.
Hi, Pep. Just one more question on the schedule, if you don't mind. It seems that all the managers in the league have been unhappy with the schedule over Christmas and over New Year. Is it something that you've spoken about with the other managers together?
Yeah.
And what have you said in that?
We spoke some issues in the meeting before the season with the federation with the Premier League. We speak with them, and the managers make the comments for the Premier League.
And for Premier League managers then, for your group, what do you see as the best solution to stop this congestion at this time of the year?
You have to speak with the federation.
But they don't accept comments from the managers?
They accept. They listen.
But don't do anything? What would
So
you like to
Brighton manager, for example, my colleague, so he said the same. So it's just one game less in that period. But I think it's our opinion, but never happened before, and I think it will never happen. In the next season, we're going to play 31st and 2, or 30 and 1, or 1 and 3, and that is going to happen, and we're going to play. So we're going to do that. So it's what it is. So I think all the comments from my colleague from Brighton, always the idea is like this, is to protect the players. That's all. So we love to play games. So I love to be manager and play during 10-11 months. It's okay. It's good. We have everything to recover in the mentally approach, but 2 days is not enough to save our players. So it's just to see how many injuries they are in all the squads and all the teams. So we have the meeting with the federation, they ask our opinion, we give our opinions, and after they decide. So when they decide, we go there.
Buenas tardes, Pepe. Felicani. Primero preguntarte, ¿tienes decidido mañana qué arquero juega?
Lo tengo claro, sí.
¿Lo puedo decir?
No.
¿Qué nos surgió una duda cuando en Champions League rotaste muchos jugadores y no jugó Claudio? Algunos esperábamos que jugara. ¿Cuál fue la decisión? ¿Por qué no jugó esos partidos?
Porque lo decidí así.
Y preguntarte después, ¿qué opinión tienes tú cuando prefieres fichar a un jugador top en enero o en junio? ¿En enero te puede generar algún problema en el vestuario o crees que no?
Si es buena gente, no.
Gracias.
No.
First question, have you decided which goalkeeper are you going to play tomorrow? Do you have it clear? Well, I'm clear, but I can't tell you who's going to play. Second one, I want to ask you, why didn't you play with Claudio Bravo in Champions League, for example, against Shakhtar when you rotated all the squad? Answer, because I decided so. And finally, are you in favor of signing a top-class player in January, even taking the risk that a new arrival can spoil the atmosphere in the dressing room? Well, if that player is nice, there's no risk.
Guys, run the embargo, please, for 10:30.